through. The North Koreans are saying that it has conducted its second successful nuclear test. The official state news agency reporting Pyongyang conducted the test underground.
That's right. We understand that the magnitude of the man-made earthquake was 4.7 on the Richter scale. That's a seismic disturbance of 4.7. And this, of course, comes just a couple of months after the North Koreans launched their Taepodong-2 missile, which brought an absolute storm of criticism from the international community and really, in political terms, further served to isolate the North Koreans. And it really left them with, in their words, little choice but to press ahead and conduct a second nuclear test. They did one several years ago in October of 2006. Many analysts suspect that was, in the terminology that they use, something of a fizzle, as that's been described, perhaps something of a disappointment in scientific and military terms. But we understand that this second test was more of a success. Zain?
Let's take a look at the statement that North Korea is making here. I mean, it's such a closed regime. It's really difficult to know a lot as to what they're thinking, why they're doing things. But this is what they said on their official news agency. The Democratic People's Republic of Korea successfully conducted one more underground nuclear test on May the 25th as part of the measures to bolster up its nuclear deterrent for self-defense. The current nuclear test, the statement goes on to say, was safely conducted on a new, higher level in terms of its explosive power and technology. The results of the test helped satisfactorily settle the scientific and technological problems arising and further increasing the power of nuclear weapons and steadily developing nuclear technology. This is a critical development, taking a lot of people down by surprise, even though the North Koreans had said initially after the UN condemnation back in April after their missile test, they said essentially, we're going to test another nuclear weapon. And I think people are really startled today about the speed at which they've carried this out, and it appears successful.
Yeah, Zain, actually, while you've been talking, South Korea's Yonhap news agency has reported that North Korea has also test-fired a short-range missile. So really, within the last couple of hours, dramatic developments coming out of North Korea, and the whole region is really scrambling to react, to the news that we're now getting. But this certainly would seem to be, yet another development. North Korea, according to South Korea's Yonhap news agency, has test-fired a short-range missile.
Let's get a little more on that from Son Jie, who joins us now. Jie, upping the ante even more.
Well, if it is so, Zain, I mean, these reports are still yet unconfirmed. The South Korea state-funded news agency Yonhap was quoting unidentified sources saying that North Korea not only conducted a nuclear test, but is also believed to have test-fired short-range missiles. And the site that they're talking about is actually the site of the North Korea's April long-range missile site, the Musudanri area. Now, we don't know whether this is confirmed or true or not, but this is something that was actually talked about here in South Korea for a while. When South Korean media talked about North Korea retching up tensions, they were actually talking about North Korea firing off some short-range missiles first to see what the international reaction would be. So, actually, it sort of is a bit of a fizzle in a way. The news of this, if it is true, comes after the fact that North Korea seems to have conducted a nuclear test. But it is something that, in terms of the North Korea arsenal, that it has in order to get the global attention, and it seems to have used at least two parts of its arsenal, Zain.
The tensions between North and South Korea over the past month have increased, relations between the two getting significantly worse. Kim Jong-il has said to be very upset with the South Korean leader for not playing ball the way he sees it and giving them the kind of aid that they want. How do people in South Korea see the situation with the North today?
Well, people in South Korea right now realize that relations with North Korea are probably at the worst stayed in the past decade. ever since South Korea's Kim Dae-jung, the President Kim Dae-jung came to power and conducted its policy of engagement with North Korea, giving North Korea aid, sunshine, as he termed it, giving North Korea aid, economic help, economic development tips, and try to foster relations between South and North Korea. The past presidents believe that that was the way to get North Korea out of its economic isolation. And out of those efforts came a number of policies and a number of projects between South and North Korea. One of them was a tourist project in Mount Kumgang. The other was an industrial complex just north of the border, and the Kaesong Industrial Complex. This current president, who came into power just about a year and 3 months ago, has a different take on North Korea policies. He believes that the Sunshine policy has not worked. It has not changed North Korea, and he believes that it is no longer South Korea's role to give North Korea whatever it wants without getting anything in return. So they have set a more realistic policy with North Korea, and that has made South-North relations go downhill very quickly. Both the tourist project as well as industrial complex are in serious trouble, and so relations between South and North Korea have been very difficult. A South Korean worker has been in a North Korean jail for quite some time without any visitation. North Korea saying that it was going to try him. So there's a lot of things between South and North Korea that are not going well. And this is only going to worsen, a lot of people think, the situation, Zane.
And what about the issue that what we're seeing right now really boils down to an issue of internal jockeying for power within North Korea? Kim Jong-il hasn't been well, and there is a succession question and a succession issue. It's difficult to know, but what are you hearing?